Hi there. In today's video, we will cover how do we merge a CSV files. As you can see, I have three CSV files called users1, users2 and users3 in this folder, and our objective is to merge these three CSV files and to produce one file out of them. Alright, so let's get started. Now, before getting into the PowerShell, let me show you the content of each of this CSV file. This is users1, which has the columns and which also has some values. So 1 to 5, we have 5 values in this. Then we have users2, which has 3 values in it, but same columns. That is very important to observe. When we are merging with the CSV files, we need to make sure that they are having the same structure, right? So we have a same set of columns, not a change in the sequence, as well as no change in the letter casings and everything as well. Right, and no additional columns should also be there, right? So structure should be same, right? And then I have users3, which again 3 different rows into users3.csv. All right, so now let's get back to the PowerShell and let's start writing the commands for that, right? So let's first declare a variable called users1. And what we want to do is we want to import the CSV file. So it's going to be C drive, PowerShell examples, and let's have users1. So we are importing this into the users1 variable. Similarly, let's copy this, let's copy this. Let me make a font a little larger. We'll call it users2. Let's import users2, and then let's call this users3, and let's import users3. Right, so now we have each of the data from individual file into these individual users variable. So let's call it another variable users, which will hold all of these combined CSV files. And the way we do it is really very simple. So you're going to take up the first set of data. We'll say plus. We're going to take up a second set of data. We'll put plus, and then we'll add the third data file that's coming in from users3, right? It's very simple. So now what we're going to do, we will use our users variable, and then let's just export that into the CSV file. Let us call it C drive PowerShell examples, and let's just call it as users.csv, since this comprises really of all the users. And let's just make sure that we do not get that additional header line while creating or exporting the CSV. So for that, we would like to make sure that we pass in no type information. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. Now, as we can see, it has run. There is no error. So what that means is we should be seeing the users.csv successfully created. Let's go back. As we can see, now we have the users file. So let's go ahead and open that up. So now users.csv is open, and as we can expect, it has really gone ahead and merged all 3 CSV file content into this one single file, right? And another interesting thing that you would like to observe is, even though we have added them with a simple plus sign, it has skipped adding the headers into the merged file. Otherwise, we could have expected headers to be added after the first file, and again the header was added out of the second file. But that was actually not the case, and that is good. Right? Now, let us say that you would like to merge all the CSV files that are there in a specific folder. Now, we may not be fully aware, or we may have the requirement wherein we have a multiple CSV files and they all are dynamic. The numbers of the CSV file is not known in advance, and that's the reason you cannot add them like this. That is how you would like to merge them with the dynamic approach. So how do we do that? So let's work on that as well. And let's just see Let's first define a path. So let's just call it as a source path, right, where all of your CSV files are there. So as we saw earlier, all the CSVs are under this path, under this folder, C drive PowerShell examples. Let me go back and let me just refresh it, or let me also kind of delete this for now, all right, which we just merged. So now I have 3 CSV files, which is at the C drive PowerShell examples, all right? And let us also define the output as well, right? And it's also going to be in a path. So I'm just going to copy this, and we'll say this has to be users.csv. All right, that's the output file that I would like to create by merging all of the CSV files. Now, how do we actually get all the CSV files that are part of this particular folder, which we have defined as the source path? So we'll call it as the CSV files equals to get child item. All right, and we will be passing on the source path. So it will get all the child item. What that means is all the files and folders which are in this source path. However, we only would like to filter, only would like to get the CSV. So we'll have to put the filter, double quote, star.csv. So this will return only the CSV files in that folder, right? So now we have a list of all the CSV files, excuse me, in the CSV files variable. So now it's time to apply for each, and we will say for each CSV file in CSV files, right? This is the way how we will iterate each individual CSV file. That's the name of the variable. It could really be anything in the CSV files, which holds all the CSV files. Let's put opening bracket, closing bracket as well as a part of best practice. And the way we want to do it is we first want to import CSV, and let's call it CSV file, okay, dot full name, that's the entire path that we have, and then export at the same time into the output. Okay, now what will happen is the first file will iterate, will add it to the output, and because it's a loop, the second file will also iterate and will add it to the same output. So we want to make sure that the output is not overridden when the iteration happens. We would like to append the data on every iteration, right? So we're going to say hyphen append, all right? And we also want to make sure that that additional header is not really generated, all right? So this is it. This is all we need to do. Just want to add all the CSV file, merge them, and produce a new file out of it. All right. We have made a little mistake here. We really don't have to import it here because we are importing it on the line number 12. So let's just get rid of this. It's all about defining the path, and now it should be good to go. All right, let's run. And as you can see, we haven't got any error. So now we should see the user's CSV that got generated. As we can see, let's open it. And as we can see, it has really merged all the CSV file that is part of the folder, right? So I hope this simple example helped you to understand if you have some static CSV files, how can you really merge them? And if you don't know the count, if you don't know the files, but if you would like to cover all the CSV files that are part of a specific folder and merge them, I have also shown that. Thank you for watching the video.